had a lot of conversations about it during the Oxygen times. To be honest, he wanted me to prep him a little bit of like how could he become an IGL in the future because it was something that he always wanted to do. Um, I told him you're a little bit young in these things, but he jumped into it, and obviously he's doing great at it. So
Malcolm,
hey,
bro, that was like 7 rounds. I just got out of the
yeah,
MIBR press conference. You 13-1, and then I'm already in an interview with you. What happened today?
um, good day. We've had a lot of time to prep, and we've really taken the time to prep. We learned a lot from the EDG and DRX game, to be honest,
Can you talk about
and
the?
also very good practice in Europe. Also, that helps.
Mm, I actually want to ask you about that practice in Europe. Actually, can I ask about that right now? What are the differences that you've seen from the other teams when you're practicing them? Is that the ranked practice, or is that like specifically the EMEA teams still doing their season?
Uh, there's just so many teams to prac in EMEA, and uh, we practice a specific region like all the time, and it's just very good to prepare for official games when you practice that region. There's a lot of fighting and brawling all the time.
I was just asking about EDG versus DRX. What were some of the things that you know? What were the shortcomings from those series, and how did you divide it based on the things that were just one-off mistakes that you can't really control versus the ones that you actually can control?
Yeah, so specifically against DRX, just being way more ready for fast-paced Valorant all the time, and also just being in the mindset of we're playing different regions, different play styles, so it's not going to be in our comfort zone all the time. We're not playing Americas every single game, and then feel like against EDG and DRX we had uh, a lot of blunder rounds where like we have the rounds, but we're just not finishing them as we always do normally in practice. But my goal is always to put the practice mentality and the way we practice into actual officials because I know that if we play in a yeah, so I'm very high on getting the practice mentality and the way that you practice into actual officials. So, because we had a lot of blunders in both of the games where like we have the rounds, we just need to tighten up a little bit and follow protocols a little bit better and just calm down and be on the same page. So just really getting on the same page with those things is something we've been working on.
How do you counteract that aspect of officials versus practice? Are you primarily just drilling things down so that the natural nerves that will come just being on the stage are counteracted by how much you've run through the scenarios? Like, what's the solution for stage to practice?
Uh, oh yeah, so the way I do it is uh, overall rules and then rules on specific maps, rules on specific sites, and then you have protocols on all sides, all maps, all sites, and then you just run through the scenario so many times. And it's just, I want the guys to have the feeling when they look to the left and they look to the right, they always know what their teammate is doing, almost no matter the scenario. So, before we go into a game, we can look at the enemy team and be like, when this happens, this is going to be our reaction, for example. So everyone knows exactly how we're doing. And the important thing with that then is that everyone sticks to it, so everyone knows exactly what we're doing. And this is obviously within parameters, so they are free to play the game however they want and do match plays.
That's actually a very I'm very impressed. I actually want to ask you about these rules specifically. Was that something that you worked with Strong, or was that something you brought over to Oxygen? And also just to follow up into it, is it like three rules that you have per map? How does that all work?
There's a lot of rules, to be honest. It's say before every game, say before every map, just grinding it all the time. It's like a study book, almost just repetition all the time, and then I repeat myself coming into the official, so it's kind of like psychological. They get into the prac feeling, the comfort zone. They hear me saying all of the things. They know exactly what to do with it. I've just had it like that, not my entire career in Valorant, but it's something that I developed and truly I always wanted my coaches to do that. I couldn't really do it when I was IGLing because it was a little bit too much. So when I started coaching in Oxygen, I really, really emphasized on that. And the feedback I got was that everyone liked it. So I just kept getting better at it, and I'm still getting better at it. Sometimes the lists are too long, is what I hear.
Yeah, no, definitely. How do you get your players to just constantly remember that? Do you have it written down? You're like, hey, memorize this, or
Uh, nah, it's more me saying, grinding through it all the time, and one of the rules could come from a VOD review. Something happened, we didn't like the way we played, and then we make a rule about it, and then just keep repeating it until they 100% commit to it, and then it goes away, and then new things come in all the time to keep it fresh.
And I don't want to fully leak your rules, but is there one rule specifically that's centralized for every single map?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything
Yeah,
specific.
no, no worries.
Let me think if there's like
You don't have to. I
uh
want you to do well at Chaps, so it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's more specific rounds and stuff. So yeah.
yeah, no, of course. No, it's been really cool watching the team grow from like the kickoff when you're with them to playing. You're gonna be playing MIBR for a spot in top three. Is it wild just to watch how much this team has been able to translate their practice onto the stage?
And definitely. It's been a very bumpy year for this entire roster and for me individually as well. But everything that was supposed to happen happened for a reason, and we're here. And as soon as we had this roster, like before we had our EWC qualifier, we had like I don't remember how many days, like nine, like 8, 9, or 10 days of practice, and like 5 days in of practice. Uh, that's when I realized what we have on our hands. We just need to work very efficient to get there to be on time for all the tournaments that we had, EWC and stage two.
Mm. Just got a few more questions for you. I want to piggyback on this aspect of fast-paced Valorant that you got from DRX. What is
Yep.
the solution for fast-paced Valorant? Is it primarily, I guess, what's the solution for fast-paced Valorant, and what are the troubles with a faster playstyle compared to a very passive but very clean style?
Yeah. I mean, I truly think fast-paced Valorant is just super good to play in general. The way the DRX played is like in quotation mark fast-paced. They could be slow defaulting, but when they're actually doing their executes, it's very hard, and Strong said it in an interview, very punchy. And it's more like, what do you do against a punch like that? It's been a while. It was like when Jet was completely broken and Breach was played everywhere, that you had that hard punch on sites all the time. That was almost uncounterable. But I think you need to fight fire with fire. To be honest, that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you about the upcoming MIBR series because you're going up against Verno, and you're his master for 2 years, teaching him subtly about your paladins days and everything.
Yeah,
What's your excitement going to that? He's the IGL, you know.
super fun. I mean, I'm so proud of him. That I'm happy that they made it here as well. Even if they had like a wacky stage two, I think they're a great team, and I think Verno is doing amazing there, and I'm so happy that he's doing well as well, considering everything happened in the previous roster. So I'm really super happy and excited to play against him. Even if I'm not on the server, I know he's IGLing, so I'm gonna have to do my things against him, and he's gonna use his things against me. So it's gonna be super fun to see how it plays out.
And then quickly, did you ever expect him to be in a position to be an IGL and leading a team? Did you always see his mind for the game, even when he was
Yeah.
super young?
Yeah, I mean, I knew we had a lot of conversations about it during the Oxygen times. To be honest, he wanted me to prep him a little bit of like how could he become an IGL in the future, because it was something that he always wanted to do. Um, I told him you're a little bit young in these things, but he jumped into it, and obviously he's doing great at it. So it's not a thing that just randomly comes from him. It's like I know he wants to do it, and I know he can do it, and he has a brilliant mind for the game. He's very, very deep and also unique as well. I think you can see when MIBR plays, they have a very unique play style, and it's thanks to him.
Awesome, Malcolm. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.